Quote, I stuck my neck out for him. Didn't complain when he benched me as a starter. Didn't complain when he called the same plays 5 damn times. Didn't badmouth him to other coaches. When the media asks me, I say, he's a good coach, a good guy. Then I hear he says I was the worst thing that ever happened to the Raiders. If it weren't for me, we'd be in the playoffs. It just got to where the game wasn't fun for me. Things weren't going right, and it felt sometimes like everything fell back on me. I take some responsibility, but I was one guy. I may have missed a throw, but I didn't give up 42 points. I didn't miss a block. Along the ideas of whether or not he deserves a second chance in the NFL, does he?
No. And I never say that.
I've never heard you say that.
I am a person that believes in second chances. I think America is the land of second chances, except for when it comes to this dude, Mr. Jabba the Hutt, you fat, slovenly, no good, lazy bum of a
that's
quarterback.
A little strong.
And listen, that's what he was with the Oakland Raiders. Darren Woodson was just sitting up here. He played for the Raiders. Ask him. Ask any member of the Oakland Raiders who played alongside this dude. This dude should be arrested for being a thief. He stole money from the Oakland Raiders for years. I'm talking $40 million. The dude had about 7 starts, did absolutely, positively nothing. He cashed in the money, evidently used it on buying a bunch of donuts, okay? Never gave 2 cents about the Oakland Raiders. Didn't care whether they won, didn't care whether they lost, constantly changed his expression. The only time we saw him give a speck of effort was when he was literally caught on camera blowing his nose. That's about it. This dude is the epitome of a disgrace. He never cared, and now we're supposed to believe you up here. He played for the Raiders. Some cockamamie excuse about, sleep apnea. I had sleep apnea. You know what I did? I had it operated on. Deviated nasal septum. That's the name of the surgery, okay? He could have got that done. He could have used one of them cat machines, whatever it is. He could have done all of that. He could have came up with a myriad of solutions, but he didn't care because he was getting paid. He sold his teammates out. He sold the organization out. The late Al Davis, he sold him out or what have you. And by the way, maybe I'm a bit harsh and maybe I'll change my mind tomorrow, but considering this is the initial reaction since I just heard of the garbage this Jabba the Hutt individual spewed, no, he does not deserve it, not even a little bit of it, until he comes out and gives a public apology for robbing the organization of the money, for disgracing NFL quarterbacks, and more importantly, for not acknowledging that he is solely responsible for the ineptitude that he exhibited over those years in Oakland. Period.
Did he pick himself?
No, he did not.
First in the draft?
No, that was Al Davis.
Picked
that was Al Davis.
I first guessed this. These quotes are exactly why I wouldn't have taken Jamarcus in the first place. I said, sitting right here in this seat, if Al Davis makes this pick with the first pick in the draft, he will make a huge mistake that will haunt this franchise for years to come, and it did. If you watched carefully when Jamarcus was in college, you saw what happened when he went to Florida in a big game. When he went to Auburn, you saw high interception games. You saw a kid who fought his weight the whole time and got too heavy and was lackadaisical in third and fourth quarters of big games. You saw why you shouldn't have taken him number 1 in the first place. But where I do disagree with you, if he did clean himself completely up, if he did lose weight and get into premium shape, somebody should give him a shot somewhere.
What I would say to you is this. I'm emotional. You may be right. I may stand corrected. My initial reaction is what I stand by for this moment in time. And it ain't because of any of those things you said. Everything that you said is 100% on the money. The problem is I have to trust that you're going to care. You, meaning, and then it's not just the NFL. It's a privilege to play in the National Football League and all of that stuff. We all know that. The plight of the black quarterback, you're one of the guys, you're the number 1 overall pick. You come into the league and you look and the history and the trials and
so that's why you're a little more emotional?
Because it's, again, not his lack of production. Has nothing to do with that. It's that he didn't care. If you talk to teammates, who were on his side, they will tell you they looked at him and they were ashamed to be his teammate because he didn't care. Not because he was unproductive. He didn't care.
How much do you think the fact that he had that protracted holdout to get the contract done wasn't in that first training camp? How much did that start having an impact of he came in behind the gun so that if he even just gave it a little effort, had he been there, you might have seen it.
I would honestly say to you, I don't know the answer to that question, but I know this much. If you had shown effort you would not be as reviled and as disrespected by your contemporaries, by people like me and others, the way that you are now. What I spoke to is effort, not his abilities, not even his production or lack thereof. There is no excuse, Dana and Skip, for us to ever sit up here and have to question your effort and whether or not you cared. That is unforgivable.
Okay, I questioned the effort when he was in college. And to your question about the holdout, we heard all the stories during the holdout. He's hanging out in Atlanta at the clubs and the strip clubs, later all confirmed. That's who he was and who he became immediately when he got his money and went to Oakland.
Would you give him a second chance?
I would.
I know plenty. I know plenty of professional athletes who have those same habits in terms of their lifestyle, but they still show up to work and play hard.